Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you so much for tuning in to another week, another episode of Only a Matter of Time. Here with your boy Mel and Tao. So this episode, we want to just with all the festivities happening right now, holidays basically here, a couple days, we wanted to do it on gratitude.
Yes.
And it's funny because I was telling him, like, bro, it takes me back to the beginning of when we first started this whole journey.
Yes.
Is that was like one of my first episodes to release was on gratitude. So for me, the gratitude has been so foundational, so important into like self-discovery and I feel like self-realization, just becoming who I am and I am now. Is like gratitude was the foundation. So it's kind of like laying that brick.
Yes. No, I agree. And it's so interesting that because you started on that foundation, you started pulling people in with you, which is great. Not to say like, well, one of them is me, of course, and not to say like I wasn't grateful mindset, but it was it was, I guess, in a sense, preparing me for what we're doing right now,
exactly.
right? And so, which is something for sure. It's a great topic that you brought up that we should talk about, and it should be something everyday thing.
Yeah, it's every day. It should be a practice that you're doing, not just here and now, or not just once a year. You know, one thing, once Thanksgiving comes around, it should be something that you're grateful. You pick something that you're grateful for. Every day.
And I think it's a good time now since the year that we've had.
Yeah.
And everyone's had as well. It's just we kind of been on pause, but also been like on the go, but also on the pause.
Yeah.
And I think like right now we've been kind of like on the chill mode. We've kind of been like we've been occupied with other things, and which kind of slowed us down a little bit, which is good right now that you again like brought it up to so we could actually stop and think about all the things we are grateful for this year and what we've been through and what we've gone through. So.
Exactly. So we first want to kind of like start off the episode by explaining what we feel or how we would explain gratitude.
Yeah.
And basically, I guess like one of the sayings that kind of captures it, gratitude, what it means is kind of counting your blessings.
Yes.
In the sense like when you're, the way I can explain gratitude is basically is to express or to acknowledge the good things, and I feel like now too the bad. Like, I don't want to say good and bad. I feel like it's all about perspective, but just in general, like just the things that you feel have impacted you in such a way that have kind of molded you, help you grow, and you're acknowledging those things, and you're taking the time out of your day, and you're like, dude, like that touched me. Or, it could be a thing, it could be a feeling. It could be a person. It could be anything. You know what I'm saying? Anything in particular you're grateful for. And like I said, it's basically you're taking the time, you're taking that moment to count your blessing.
Yeah.
Count that blessing.
I like how you said, it's really like what you said, acknowledging.
Yeah.
That's that part is like, you acknowledge any of those things. Even, like you said, like I know I don't like to say the bad things, but like even within the challenging things.
Yeah, there you go.
The things that challenge you because it pushes you to grow, and that's when you start that's when you realize I appreciate that issue or whatever that issue was, or something issue within yourself, or issue in a situation or a relationship. And when you acknowledge, I could, for example, for me, just to say like I had a failed marriage, but it wasn't all bad. And what I took away from it was that I appreciate. I grew up a lot.
Yeah.
I learned a lot about myself. I learned about a lot of even the bad things the things that I myself had to work on. So I guess in that sense, it's a divorce, but but then it's out of that for me on my end. I grew up, and I'm grateful for that experience and that opportunity, because I learned a lot from who I am. I grew up as a man, as a young man.
Yeah.
So.
And like the same thing for me, like one of the things that I'm really grateful for this year is like really taking the time to like delving really deeper into myself and like really getting to know myself on a deeper level. Not just like the regular, figuring out like what my talents and gifts are, like kind of going even deeper than that, and like really even knowing my darker parts. Doing that dark, that shadow work, as I like to say, and really, like you see your inner, because we all have an inner light. We also have inner darkness.
Yes,
darkness, and it gave like kind of it's that balance. Like that kind of keeps the even cute, even.
Yes.
But just kind of like acknowledging that, like not every day is gonna be a good day. Not every day is gonna be the best day, but when I wake up, is like I have that in mind. Like I'm gonna have a good day.
Yes.
Even if I may not feel like I'm like I'm not 100%.
Exactly.
But whatever energy or whatever capacity I have to, or for my output that day is like I'm gonna give it 100% of that, and I'm gonna do my hardest to to put my best foot forward, as I like to say.
And then, what do you think? Like I totally agree. I the same way. Like when it comes to approaching the day.
Yeah.
How about like even when these do, because we work and we have the other things that go on throughout the day. Like, how do you feel approaching? Because we don't want to be in denial. Where we're just kind of like it's gonna be a good day, and then we're just kind of like we're like basically like puffing out rainbows and fucking there's again like that balance where like okay, when something happens that day, I even for me, like I've shared stories like when you deal with certain people, and certain people they challenge you in certain ways, and I guess for me it's like okay, I have to acknowledge that there's something there, and it's like kind of like my day is kind of like it's kind of it's not going to ruin my whole day, but this particular situation and this particular person is taking me out of that space. And I feel like when you acknowledge that and then you let it roll off your back,
Exactly.
and then like be a person is like let it just eat you up, like and for me, like I probably won't. I acknowledge it then at that point. I probably just have to keep working and keep doing what I have to do. And then when I like leave for the day or when I run into you guys, I kind of like, blah, like, I'm like, dude, like it's more like I have to acknowledge that this happened. This is making me feel this way. It didn't fuck up my day, but it was for sure something I need to acknowledge. But then it's still an opposite. I feel like acknowledging that something negative or something that tried to make your day negative, acknowledging it, and then still going about it, I feel like it's a positive. It's still positive, because you're like you're acknowledging it, but like you didn't act on it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's also a grateful thing. So I feel like, I think when we wake up and have like it's gonna be a good day, regardless of whatever happens or whoever comes your path and tests your patience or tests your like that. And so. Not for me, not to walk around and be like so blinded by thinking like, and to me that's like in a sense almost like toxic positivity in a sense.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So just for me like that's something that's new too that I for myself was like became aware of. Like there's also toxic positivity, where you don't want to be so oblivious to the point where you're like it's just all positive.
Everything's fucking rainbows.
Yeah, and then like you're in denial. You're like okay, like. There's acknowledging that situation and then like letting it, what, I'll deal with that later. I just need to do what I need to do, and then I could process what happened in that situation so I could know better next time or whatever. Versus me just kind of like okay, yeah, sure, and not really addressing it, right? And then it just next thing you know, like I could blow up into something more than it should have been later on.
I think I don't know if this is the correct word, but like having temperance, in the sense like keeping your composure when something does like hit you and you're like it triggers you a certain way, and you have to like try your best to like keep your composure and like realize like okay, I'm not gonna lash out.
Yes,
I'm just gonna process this. Acknowledge that alright, this is feeling my type of way, and you have to like kind of analyze the situation. Like are you in a place and are you in a space where you can address it right there and then, or do you have to take? And this is all out. And this is what I mean. Like you have to know yourself in a deep level. And are you the type of person that you need to take a step back and look at it and really analyze it and really dig deep to see why it fucked you up or why it put you in that headspace? Are you the type of person that needs to take the time, like maybe a couple hours, maybe even a couple days, to come back to revisit it? Or are you the type of person that you're ready to acknowledge it right there and then? It may be where one person's ready, one person's not.
It's not.
You have to kind of like be respectful of each other's boundaries, understand each other where you each are. And so like once you understand that, then like I said, back to like the whole thing is like, are you in the right right location, the right space? Because if you're like at work in the middle of like a meeting, or not even just at work, but like if you're like in the grocery store and somebody says something to you, triggers you, whatever, you're not gonna be full on do a whole scene right there and then. It's like you want to basically take yourself out of that place. I know it's gonna be very difficult because it'll be eating at you at that moment. But it's like you have to like kind of like just keep your shit together. And like keep your composure, and and then right when you're in the, if you go back to the car or whatever, you have that time where you can talk to that person one on one. Put them in that space where they feel comfortable and they can understand you,
and you guys can have a productive, healthy conversation.
Yeah, because obviously there's going to be disagreements. I feel like there's healthy disagreements.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? There's healthy arguments in the sense that like each one says their piece, but you acknowledge, I understand where you're coming from, but unfortunately, I don't feel the same way. Or I don't really see from that perspective you're seeing from, but I'm hearing you. In that sense, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
But like I said, if you do it like in a location, in a space where like there's people around, there's other distractions. You're not. It's not going to be productive. You're not going to get anywhere with that discussion.
It's probably going to make it worse.
It's going to make it worse. That's what I'm saying. Like you have to make sure you're in the right space, the right time, and then from there, kind of address it.
And I think all that again, like that, all that acknowledging all that is coming from a place where you, like you said, like you know yourself deeply, but also coming from a place like when you start in gratitude, like I feel today's gonna be a great day. I feel like when you start off that day, and then when something happens like that, I feel when you start processing things like that, that's where that comes from. Like it comes from like, okay, I understand like what's going on right now, and because you have that mindset already to start the day, like, hey, I'm gonna have a good day. I'm grateful for whatever happens in my day. I feel like when people are in that mind space already, and then something like that happens, is where you start to, and you know yourself. It's like exactly how you did. Like, hey, you know what? I'm gonna coach you later, or I may not. I may just, this is something that I need to deal with myself because of how I feel.
Yeah, exactly. It may be like something that it just has to do with you. And it has nothing to do with that person, but it's just something that person said that got you fucking, got you feeling some type of way, got you flustered, and now your feathers all ruffled up. Like I said, that person could have probably said nothing. Like they probably didn't mean what they said. It could have been very harmless, but just people take things in a whole. And I heard this a while back. It's like you have no control over. So hold on, let me reword this. Let me kind of get my train of thought, kids. So basically, what I'm trying to say is, I heard this saying. Someone say this is like, you have no control of what. So you only have control of what you say. But you have no control of what the other person hears. On the other end.
Right.
Okay, so you can be saying one thing, and in your mind you have a understanding of what you're saying. But the other person on the receiving end, they can hear it and take it in a whole different way, all depending on the context and the way. And a lot of it has to do with body language too. So, and that's what I mean is like you could be saying something and then the other person can take it, take it in a whole different manner. So
and that's something that they have to, that person that ends up receiving or feels a certain way, they need to take that onto themselves and go take that to wherever the altar or wherever they need to go to, and see why did that make them feel that way.
Exactly.
And I'm only bringing this up because this is something for myself that I constantly working on. But I've gotten so much better for sure to acknowledging it. But also I feel like it comes from a place where it's where I practice gratitude, where I practice, I do do see things, or we do see like, okay, the silver lining in things, you know, like that story was fucked up, but at least, you know, I learned this, or at least, you know, like we were able to get through it, or you know what I'm saying, like, so it's always like when you practice gratitude, or what I feel, I know like when we practice that every day, we start to see things for like that, in that kind of way. It's like a learning. You're constantly learning. You know,
and
even
like
in the most fucked up situations sometimes.
In a way, like I feel like when practicing gratitude, when looking for something to be grateful for, it reminds me of that game when you're a little kid, and it tells you to look for this object. And you have to circle it. You know, when you go to like go eat at the restaurant, look for this object. Circle
almost
it.
Like
it's almost very similar. Like when you're looking for gratitude, it's like you're looking for particular moments where you feel elated, where you felt like inner peace and you feel happiness, and that like those things that you're grateful for contributing to your to all those things that bring you peace and bring you happiness. And so I came across this article and it was saying that what happens is once you practice gratitude, you start seeing things in a whole different perspective. So like you start looking for things that obviously make you happy, things that bring you gratitude. You start being more empathetic. And now that you're looking for those things, you're gonna start looking for it even more in other areas in your life, and then you're gonna attract those things as well. So it's almost like a full, it brings you around full circle.
Cycle. No, it's like the energy. Like like I totally. That's perfect. Like that's exactly. I feel like it's even, like I said, like even, and I like to bring up. I think, the reason why I've been bringing it up, like when you get into challenges or people that trigger or challenging, because I feel like that's where you put it. You put in that work, like or it tells you what you have not been, like the work that you have not, that you still need to work on. Because again, like I feel like even when in those situations, you're like, okay, this happened. This person did this or said this to me, but you know, like I know now. Like I know now the next time. But you know what I'm saying? Like I got this from that relationship. Like at least I got, I learned something from that person. We're not friends anymore because again, like there's that saying. It's like, hey, some people are here to teach you a lesson, and then they're to go. Like, and other people are here to stay. And like they have, So I feel like when you start dealing with situations with people like that, you start to see the stuff like that. Like, oh, I'm grateful for it. Like that person taught me this, or this person taught me. Oh, now I know not to deal with, I see now if I run into someone similar to that or stuff like that. So, and then you just walk away. Okay, I learned something. Versus walking away being bitter and being like, like I hate the road now. Or I'm just not gonna fuck with nobody. You know what I'm saying? Like, so.
And like if you even think about it too, like life is like almost. I don't know if you guys ever heard the term alchemist. I don't know if you probably read the book. It's one of my favorite books. I got my tattoos about the book. But basically, with alchemists, it's someone who turn metals into gold. That's kind of what life is about. This is like it's like kind of becoming a spiritual alchemist in the sense that you're taking negative experiences, or what we still call negative experiences. We're taking those and we're kind of transforming them into something, and to like help us build inner strength and help us build character, and help us to attain, self-realization to who we're really meant to be. And I feel like for me, that's what that kind of gratitude is. We use that as a tool to help us achieve that.
I agree. I get that's like a cool example. Like I know our families, like everyone's families. I know everyone's family has it's a different dynamic.
Yeah.
Every family has gone through some shit. They're probably still going through some shit. But like for example, like my family, like we've gone through so much, and I feel like how we are now, like how we address challenges and stuff like that. Like we pull together. Like it's we're so much our relationships with each other is so much stronger. But because of it's just kind of it just makes us stronger. It can it conditions when you and the big part I would say is like because we're grateful for each other. We're grateful for we've all gone through times where we did talk or we were upset or all that stuff like that. But when I know like the big thing also that our family, we always, when we pray together or whatever, we're always grateful and we're thankful because that's what was instilled in us.
Yeah,
Growing up. And so I feel like, yeah, like that when you and not knowing, I mean, like I guess we've been doing that. I guess in a sense, we just never really acknowledged that we're doing that until we've gone on our spiritual journey.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're like, oh crap, like, and we were kind of. I feel like again, everything. I feel like it's been conditioned us to get to where we are now. And where we're going. So like even like stuff that. I just like you realize like, oh crap, like, oh, we kind of been doing that. Like,
Yeah.
And now that we know, now we can just keep practicing it and make it better and make us a better person, like, and just condition and make us stronger. So when like things do happen,
yeah,
like we're, we all come together. I mean, like, and I feel like us as friends, like we're so chill. Like when things don't work out, sometimes like we're like, all right, okay, cool, no, it's cool. Like I mean, that's just our. It's just how we are. But I mean, I feel it's because that's how we've been kind of conditioned, and then also we're on this journey. So, we understand that things don't happen. Like, and at the end of the day, we still appreciate. We appreciate each other, and we just know stuff happens. And so I don't know. I guess I'm just reflecting. I guess.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I do appreciate that. That's, I think, very insightful, and I kind of want to bring it back to like people in. Speak out to people who are like leaders. If you're like entrepreneur, if you're a manager, if you're a coach or whatever, I feel like this question often comes up: how do I value my team? How can I express? How can I increase their value? A way to do that is by making them feel valuable. And how do you make them feel valuable? Is by expressing your gratitude for them. Like that's another way you guys too. If you're a manager. Like I say, if you're a coach, or if you're basically in charge of a big team, whatever it may be, it will cross all industries. Practice gratitude, like pick someone in your team, and let them know how much you appreciate them. And I'm telling you, that is, obviously, people would want incentives, like that.
Right.
That's cool, but at the end of the day, it's like you can only give out certain amount of incentives a year. Like what's it? You kind of have to learn to think outside the box as a leader. You're like, okay, what's the next thing I could do that I can make, John Smith or whoever it may be, make him feel, he's doing something, he's making a difference, and he's living up to the values of our company or, of our team. The way is by doing that is by you taking the time and letting him know how much you appreciate him as a human being, as a person, and how much value he brings to the team.
Yeah.
Or, whatever it may be.
Like how you said, like acknowledging. That's acknowledging them, just calling them out as in, and just like you said, and for me, like I've been captains, we've been in leader roles, and that I feel like in that, not to like toot our own or anything, but like I feel like because we practice that in our personal lives, I feel for me, I do it even with our friends, like our friendships, and we always say like, bro, I appreciate that. Like, bro, I appreciate you. Or like we say that already. So like when we are in our leadership roles, it comes natural. And then people and I 1,000% agree with you. Like it helps. It helps. And but you genuinely, it's not fake. It's not. You genuinely like you appreciate them. And they feel that. And by acknowledging them, and I mean, because put myself in their shoes, like if my boss or whoever is acknowledging me, of course I'm like yeah, like
that's cool.
That's cool. Thank you. Like all my hard work isn't for nothing. Or he sees me or she sees me.
Yeah.
They see me. They're acknowledging me. And I'm like cool. That's and to be honest, and that's better than a freaking Amazon gift card. I mean, it's nice.
That's what I'm saying.
But if you keep getting them and you're just like okay, but then hearing the appreciation, it's like dope. Okay, thanks.
Because it's like it's a whole different feeling because you're connecting on another level. It's like more, it's a deeper sense, and because when you think about it, when you're telling someone and when you're expressing your gratitude to someone, it's like you took the time, and it's not just like quick 5 to 10 minutes. Like you have to take some time out of the day to be in the moment to think about how that person is adding value to whatever it may be in your life. Okay, and then now that you express that to them, that person's you're connecting. You're creating
Yes.
a bridge between you two, and you're allowing you're basically expressing yourself to that person, letting them know that impact. And then now that person's gonna be filled later, and that you're probably
And
gonna
then be-
inspire them to do the same thing.
Yes.
And it's just like a long circle.
There, I had a boss at my previous job, and her and I did not get on good on the right foot.
Yeah.
On the right foot, and I the first few months, well, actually probably like the first year, 6 months to a year was really rough for her and I.
Yeah.
We were just kind of like butting heads, and I was working from home, and then this is when they asked, hey, we need everyone to come back in to work, and I was kind of like, I work in the office,
Yeah.
and then they're like 3 months later, we'll take you back. So I was like, fine. So I go in the office, and we're still like there's tension. I don't know what was the intent, to be honest, because I originally it was more on her end, and then I was reacting to it, and me, I'm like. Then I'm just like, I'm gonna give it back to you.
Yeah.
Like I know what I'm worth, I know what I can do, but for whatever reason you're challenging it. See, and that's another situation where I'm on. At the end of the day, I was grateful for it because I come in and then she's like, I want you to revamp this and revamp this, and I was like, okay. Like I was like, she challenged me. And because I was like, I'm gonna take my ass back home already, and so I go and I do it, and I do whatever it was great, like everything was great, and then at the end we come to this big old meeting, and this manager is known for like, she's just a hard ass, she's just the one that you just don't miss, so she don't even say thank you sometimes. And so then we go in and we're sitting there and whatever, and they're passing out, whatever. And she goes up and then she gives me the freaking award. And I literally, she was like, I want to give this award to Tagada. Everyone looked at it. I was like, just, she was like, he came in, he revamped everything. Everyone was shook, including me, because I was like, did she just say my name? First of all, is she giving out an award? Because she never, like, I was shocked because I was really like sitting there like, who the hell is she talking to? Talking about? And then I go up and I'm like, they're like, it hit different because for one, she's just not that kind. Or what we all felt like she was not that kind of manager. But and then from then our work relationship has gone. We have gotten mutual respect,
Yeah.
And then I think, and then and out of that whole situation, I was grateful for her because it pushed me. Even though I was like her and I, for whatever reason, we were butting heads. And at the end of the day, like I ended up respecting her. But that's what I was saying. Like it was an award, and I think I did get a gift card. But it was just like that whole part was like it made me feel good. Like it was like because it was coming from her, and like I was like, okay, so she is paying attention. She's just a bitch to me. Anyway, so
exactly.
This is a cool example. Exactly what you were saying.
Like with gratitude, man. So like any time or any moment you get, it's express your gratitude to people. Even if it's like sending a text or short text, they thank you. Someone helped you move or do something out of the ordinary. Like they take the time. They messed up their score. Take the time from their score to do something. For you, like nice support or whatever. Really express your gratitude because you know what I'm saying. Not a lot of people do that. People are busy. Like life, like even for me, like when people do shit for me, I understand. Like everyone has a busy life. Everyone can be doing something else. But if they're in that moment with you, it's like be grateful. Like I feel like another thing I want to say about gratitude too is like it brings you to live in the present moment.
Yeah.
You live in the here and now. You're like understanding like you don't need anything else. You're completely right here. You're grateful for what you have right here right now. You're not looking to the future. You're not looking to your past.
You're present.
You're present. So now I want to go into like the different ways we can practice like gratitude. Different methods that we've used and that we're continuing to use. Like I know one of them is one of the things that I've been and I kind of like I constantly talk about this is journaling.
Yes.
So like and I in my journal every day I write down 3 things I'm grateful for that day. And then I'll write, I'll do the approach I do to prayer. Like the way I approach prayer now is I'm not asking for God because I know He's gonna provide. Either way, it's like I'm understanding it. Like it's like I serve a God that's greater.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I'm like kind of speaking about God in like not in a religious context but in a spiritual context. But it's like I know that God's capability.
Yes.
So now it's like I don't ask because I already acknowledge it.
Yes.
And I already know I'm gonna receive it. But now I'm just being thankful for what I have.
Yes.
What He's given me.
Yes. And I totally agree. When I realized the difference of how praying was when I started my spiritual journey.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was more like, it is more like, I think, thank you for this, thank you for my family, thank you for how I felt today, thank you for, thank you for bringing me out of my funk, like, and thank you for what's to come, like, it's like, it's more, and when you approach, when you approach or you go to prayer like that, it, like, for me, and I know for you, like, it's, your life is so different, because it is different, and it is the power of words, of how you do things and how you say things. Thank you for my health. Thank you for healing. Thank you for, what I'm saying. Thank you for the challenge that you gave me. You put it forward to me today. I know that there was a reason for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you have prayer like that, it totally changes your mindset and just how you react to things and stuff like that. And it does bring you to, and it, that, like, 1,000% agree. Like, it brings you to the present.
Yeah, because I feel like sometimes we can get very materialistic when it comes to prayer. Like asking to have a new car or a new house and stuff like that. I feel like we kind of need to bring it back. Sometimes. We gotta humble ourselves. That's one of the biggest things. Humility. Is humble ourselves. You approach prayer in that sense. Is that you're gonna understand it in a whole different sense. But that's how like I said, that's how I approach prayer. And I'll do that, and then I'll sometimes send text to people that I feel grateful for them. I'll do that. Another thing that you can do is doing gratitude what's it called, letters. Doing a letter and expressing your gratitude to someone.
Handwriting. I love handwritten letters. It's almost like, I don't want
it's a
dying art, but like
art,
like some of us here, they're still like, I love writing, even journaling. I know journaling for me, my journaling journey has always been like, I'll go through my phases where I would, and then I would sometimes, and then I won't for a little bit, but I still have that same journal. So I agree. Like, it helps regardless when I do or don't. I do I journal, but also I pray, I meditate, I reflect. Like, I stop and reflect, and I reflect, and that helps me gratitude, and just I say too, like, any chance that I get with my friends or my family, I thank them. I say, I appreciate you. I appreciate you and thank you. And
that's one thing I really really respect about you. I feel like you're very appreciative, and you make sure that when you see someone, like, you see that person. You know what I'm saying? Like, you acknowledge that person, and if they do something good for you, you let them, like, you express them. I feel like that's one of the things I really appreciate about you, is that you're in tune with that.
Even if I like to acknowledge when they're doing themselves and they're doing good. Like,
exactly. That's one thing.
Like, winning. Like, I love to see my friends and my family winning. Like, and that's really genuinely, like, when people and that also helps. I feel like when you do approach that helps with jealousy, or even
I'm glad you brought that up. That was the next thing I was going to tell you.
Like, it helps with, like, I really like when people come up and you see people winning. I genuinely happy for them. Like,
I'm the same way.
Exactly.
I'm the fucking same way.
You're like, exactly. That's why we're friends. Like, because we have, like, there's no hateration. I mean, like, I do joke around with hateration. Shout out to Mary. I probably watched her. I went to call her concert like the most ever. But anyway, no, it really, guys, like, because hateration is so, even nowadays, it's so, like, it's even in your circle of friends sometimes. It's even in your family for sure. Like, they'd be like, "Oh, that's cool," and then, like, you, like, low key, they'd be hating, and so, like, I feel like if everyone just gets to an appreciation of what they have, and, like, what they're going, like, they will be genuinely appreciated for it, because it really, I feel, is a freaking cure for hateration, is when you start appreciating. And then you appreciate other people, and you just genuinely, like, dude, that's so fucking dope. I'm happy for you. That's a practice. I mean, for me, it's not a practice anymore. It's like, because I genuinely just, I'm happy for you, like, exactly. Because that was for them. It's not for me. It's like, you think of that.
And kind of like to add to that is, like, if you ever catch yourself and you're feeling jealous for another one's success, it's like, don't be ashamed. Like, it's normal.
Yeah.
It's a complete normal human feeling. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When you feel jealous, because like maybe you feel like, oh, I'm not where I need to be. You see someone else, succeeding already, and you feel yourself like with those jealousy emotions, don't repress them.
Yeah,
Acknowledge I'm feeling jealous. All right, cool. But you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna the way to come at that, but even stronger is by acknowledging that person that you see winning and like, dude, I'm so happy for you.
Yes.
And as you do that more and more and more, it's like you're not like that jealousy is just gonna slowly just diminish, and it's not gonna be as you're not gonna see yourself catching yourself jealous for the success. And then another thing I wanted to add is, dude, I just got a brain fart right now.
No, like the one thing, like what I would do, like you said, like acknowledging, like it exactly, like it's sometimes I think now when I mean sometimes me and my friends we like to talk shit, like we're shit talkers, and we're like, of course they're like freaking, like they're like have 3 degrees, so, and then to me that's actually just coming from I appreciate, like I admire them, like it comes off like it, but it's just like, because I already know this person. Of course, this person is freaking a triathlete slash freaking a therapist, whatever. Exactly. But that's who they are. Yeah. And I expect that. And sometimes we're just like, I'm not surprised. I'm happy for them, but it's like I'm surprised. It's like, and that's not jealousy. It's just like, and that's just a fun way of appreciating them, because we're just like, of course, what are they gonna do? Like go to the moon tomorrow? I'm sure they're gonna do that. Like there's just people that are just like that, and I love that. Like, and I love that about them. But versus like being like hating on them is more like I'm just kidding. Like you guys, you're just that guy. You're that girl. Like you guys are just freaking into everything and good at everything.
And kind of back now I remember what I was gonna say. So kind of swinging back to like the whole feeling jealous. Like I feel like, and I know from this like coming from me, because there was a certain point in my life where that would happen to me. You know what I'm saying? Where I would feel jealous when I would see someone else, because I didn't feel like I was where I wanted to be. And the reason why, like, we get like that is because we come from a scarcity mindset. It's like we feel like there's not enough. We feel like there's not enough to go around for everybody. But man, when you build that abundant mindset, that growth mindset, you realize, like, man, there's more than enough. There's everybody. Like, there's success. There's so much success that can go around for everybody. Like, me and you can eat at a table. Everyone can eat at a table. All my homies can eat at a table. Your mama can eat at a table. Everyone can eat at a table. You know what I'm saying? Everyone could have a seat at the table. Like once you come at it from that approach, and like you're like, why the fuck was I?
Yes.
Like, there's no reason to feel
and this even saying like that was for them. Exactly. Am I really? Or you ask yourself, what am I really jealous of? Am I jealous because they are winning, or am I jealous because of what they got? Because like I was like, what they got. If you're jealous of that, it's because that's for them. Exactly. Because if you get that, you're gonna probably not be happy anyway. Yeah. So it's like you said, there's something for everybody. Yeah. Figure that out, and you won't even you're not even bothered by what you bothered by what they're doing or what they're not doing, but you appreciate it. Yeah. Because at least they're doing something. You know. And
like don't knock someone for like their success. Like, that motherfucker I did this and that. And like I was like that motherfucker was probably putting more work than you were. They're probably fucking working overtime. They're hustling. They were doing whatever it took. Like, and that's when you need to take it. It's like, why? Like, what could I have done differently? What could I do differently to achieve the same thing? If you're going after the same thing that person. Well, make them your friend. Like, instead of like kind of being jealous, you make them a close friend. Say, hey, dude, ask them, like, how did you get to where you are? Like, what can I do? Because I want to achieve success. Like, ask them, pick their brains, and that's how you turn jealousy into an opportunity for you to have a mentor, for you to grow and be successful. Yes. So that's healthy. That's a healthy way of doing it, man. A healthy way to address jealousy if like you guys do struggle with that. But kind of like swinging back to gratitude, I feel like there's another one that I came across. You can have a gratitude jar.
Oh yeah.
I've heard about that. Where you write a little piece of paper. You write something you're grateful for. You store in the gratitude jar, and at the end, you can read. At the end of the year, you can read each one, or do what you want with it.
Yeah.
But
I like those because that's really good for if you're visual. If you like visually to see that. Yeah. Like those. That's a really good idea. You can make it look all cool. Like you get like a mason jar, exactly. And get like a cool like paper. Like I seen them like I think I seen it like on Pinterest back when I used to have like Pinterest. But I like that idea because then, yes, when you go back and reflect, because that also helps you reflect.
It does, yeah.
You know, and then it makes you happy, and like you go back and you see, and it's your writing, and it's I like that idea.
Yeah, me too. And the last thing I kind of want to do is, so there was this study. I read this in Forbes magazine, kind of the science of gratitude, and they said I did this study of 300 people. They had a group A that where they were expressing gratitude, and they were doing it with letter. And there was a certain group that they wouldn't do it all the time; they would do it here and there. And there was a group that didn't do it whatsoever. And they found out like the group that was doing that was practicing gratitude on a regular, they were actually living more happier lives, and they were thriving.
Yes.
And I feel like one of the reasons why is like when you're practicing gratitude, it's like you're basically releasing dopamine, serotonin, in your brain, in your body, and not just that, it helps reduce your levels of anxiety and of depression when you're practicing gratitude. Because you're not living in that victim state of mind. It's like you're being grateful for what you have. And you realize like, man, there's no time to I have no reason to be depressed or whatever because
I have this.
I have this.
Yes.
So if you ever find yourself you're on the brink or get into like a depression state or anxiety, maybe take a moment, take a step back and be grateful for what you have. But anyways, that's pretty much I have. Oh yeah, before we end this, I actually want to do 3 things we're grateful for. What are 3 things you're grateful for this year?
This year, I know. This year, okay. For one, I know there's a lot of things, but I want to say for sure. Of course, my friends, my family. I think, especially with the kind of year we've had, we've all pulled together, in this crazy time, and we've all been able to, be there for each other. Go do stuff together, talk and do this. So yeah, for sure. Like my friend, I'm so yeah. You guys they're my everything. And so that's one. Second, actually, I am grateful for. I am grateful for forgiveness.
Oh yeah.
I'm grateful for forgiveness in general. With that grace, just to be able to do that, because I feel like when you come from that place of forgiveness yourself or whoever or anyone, I'm thankful for that, because then that's where we can grow, which is also part of what else is I'm also grateful for. It's the opportunity of growth, of us growing, because spiritually everything. I mean, we're constantly evolving, we're constantly growing. And so I guess I think it's my friends and family, and more so forgiveness, because forgiveness, we've touched on forgiveness. Forgiveness is also something else. Is something that it's part of healing for sure. And then also growth is also part of all that. So I'm grateful for that, because we've been working on those this year. For sure. So
So for me, 3 things I'm grateful for. First one being, my family and friends, their support. Grateful for you, joining this journey with me this year. And the second one would have to be just clarity. This year, that was one of my big things. I really want to gain clarity. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm getting things are clearer than ever. I feel like when I first began, everything was so muddled. Obviously it became more clear once I started getting deeper, but at one point, I feel like, I didn't know what direction to go, and then now everything's becoming more apparent,
I do want to give you props on that, on even being more clarity, because you have not drink.
I haven't.
As soon as you said you were, you didn't. And we've been out. We've been out and we've been out about, and we've been traveling and stuff like that. And he has not. And I'm so proud of him. So
so it's been.
I feel like that's part.
It's been how many? It's been 9 months now. 9 months in the drink. I'm going to do a whole year. And then, so I'm really proud of myself. I feel like the thing I'm grateful for is just the mindset I have now. I feel like I'm pushing myself more than ever, physically, mentally, spiritually. I'm like kind of like adopting that growth mindset right now. Like that's what I really am. Like, I'm going after it. I remember I had this conversation yesterday. I told him a story. I met this man where I was helping my parents who were doing this catering gig, and he was, I don't know if he was under influence, but it seemed like he was. But we were just having a really good conversation, and he told me he's like whenever you, it's like he asked me, he's like, what do you want to do in life? Like, what is it you're doing right now? I'm actually going. I told him I'm actually have like our podcast. We have that, and then where I'm actually I'm also trying to obviously work, but what I really want to do is become a life coach. He was like, okay. He's like, once you put your finger on that thing, don't lift your finger off of it. Yeah. So keep it there. As soon as you lift your finger off, you're gonna lose focus. Yeah. You're gonna be wavering. And what he said, I feel like it was like I'm telling you, it was God speaking to me, the Holy Spirit. And then and the reason why I say that is because I kind of I haven't been so much focused on my life coaching because there's been so much going on with work. I've been working a lot, and then obviously other things going on, with, showing all that stuff. So when he told me that, it was like me telling me, it's like reassurance, like don't let your finger.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah.
He's like,
put that finger right back down. Yeah. Keep it.
Don't let your finger off. So that's like for me. It's like I'm just grateful for like those experiences. Like now, like when you have like me, whenever I have like those experiences, like, I don't take them for granted. I realize like when people have deep conversation with you, randomly,
and the last person that you would think will come give you that message, listen. Exactly. The moments like that, I have a few where I've had like random people just read me out of nowhere and just kind of like, and you just sit there, you just receive it, and just know like, okay, because it's they're the messenger.
Exactly.
They're the messenger.
Yeah, exactly. And so like right now, it's just like I'm extremely grateful for that, and another thing I'll add a fourth one in there is I'm extremely grateful for you guys. Like you guys especially. We really value you guys. Like more than anything, more than you guys know, is that's the whole purpose why we started this. Is like we really value people. Like that's one of the things. It's like my experiences, like I don't just want to experience it, but I want to help other people who are dealing with similar things, and share my experience with you, because at the end of the day, is like at the end of the day, like is when you what do you have left to show? That's what I'm trying to say. Is what do you have left to show? Is like me. I want to say that at least I tried to help other people. You know what I'm saying? And like if I can get through the other side, I'm gonna teach others how to do it as well. And teach them, because like I said, once you go that abundant mind state, you realize like it never runs out. There's infinity of infinity of when it comes to God, man. There's nothing impossible. Everything is possible. So me, when I come across information or anything that I know is going to help you, impact it, I'm going to share with everyone. I'm going to share that knowledge, share that wisdom, and share whatever resources I have with other people if possible.
What we've gone through, and I'm grateful for you. I know. I tell you this all the time. I mean, like you're really the reason why I'm sitting here and doing this. You brought me out of this my comfort zone. And now I'm seeing the repercussions of that. I'm seeing the doors that are opening for us. People are family and friends are coming and they're acknowledging us. They see and they and stuff like that. So all this would not have happened if you did not push came brought me back from behind the camera. And bro, like I appreciate it, and I appreciate everyone too. Here we go for like another year, and I think you guys are gonna probably see this. It's already after Thanksgiving, maybe.
What?
After when they see this, possibly.
It's probably after Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving should be every single day.
Every single day.
Yeah, it should be. That's really like the main thing. Like what we said, like it's an everyday practice. To have gratitude, to be thankful. Thanksgiving is an everyday mindset.
Exactly.
So.
And last thing I want to say is we actually want to allow you to express your gratitude. So
Yes.
when you guys watch this, drop into the comment box. One thing you're grateful for this year, or even when you watch this for that day, whatever it may be. And very quickly too, before we log off, we are selling merch, shirts. Go ahead.
Hey.
Boom. We got shirts. We got the crew sweater, and then we also have hoodies. We have them black and white.
Yes.
So that you can DM me if you really want one. They're dope. The logo's dope. The material's sick as fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It's fresh as shit. If you guys want one, rock with us. Really do appreciate you guys. But anyways, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it. We have some, more episodes in tune. We've been preparing that. We're going to be recording next week, probably the week after that. So we're going to keep rolling on to the end of the year. You know what I'm saying?
Sweet.
So we ain't going nowhere.
Nope. And we're gonna have friends too that come. They're gonna come along.
Yeah, we're gonna
be part of this journey too.
We're gonna have a couple guests with us in the next episode. So. Anyways, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Y'all have a blessed Thanksgiving with your family. Show them how much you love them. Express it in the most how much you love them. Really cherish them. I know this has been a very challenging year. So much has been thrown at us that we never expected. But you have to keep one thing in mind: the human soul, the human spirit is resilient. We will make a way. If not, we'll fucking find a way. So with that in mind, peace, love y'all. Stay blessed, and we out.